The heavyweight rematch between Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko could head to Vegas. Stay tuned. Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Now, we working. 2017 is a good year. A lot of quality fights. A lot of fights where we are going to learn something about the fight. The fighter. I would say Kell Brook versus Errol Spence. We needed to know some things about Errol Spence. We have prophecies and what we think, but seeing is believing, and he rose to the occasion when Kell Brook's backyard. I think Joshua versus Klitschko is another one that kind of falls in line. We know Joshua's powerful. We know he takes his career serious, but we had to see him in there with a person of the cloth of Vladimir Klitschko to see how his chin would hold up, how if he battled adversity, how he would rise to the occasion or fall. And he did just that, stopping Klitschko in the 11th. Now, shout out to Skysports.com. Link is in the description. Eddie Hearn was speaking with them regarding the rematch. Now, Klitschko, to my knowledge, has not confirmed. He said he was 50-50 on the fight, but a rematch might take place. It's likely. If it's not, it's going to be Kubrat Pulev, who is the #1 mandatory. And there's really no getting around that. Klitschko is a big money fight. The team Joshua petitioned with the sanctioning body to be granted a rematch, you know what I mean? Which some people are going to have a problem with, because Tyson Fury, he got stripped of his belt for not rematching, or for taking the Klitschko rematch and agreeing to take it. Obviously it didn't happen because he tested positive for cocaine, but they stripped him immediately. But Joshua and his team, they were smart. They went through the proper channels and they got granted that exemption, and the winner of the rematch has to fight Kubrat Pulev. Klitschko already fought him and beat him and stopped him, so if he wins and beats Joshua this time, then he has to fight him again if Kubrat Pulev, #1 mandatory, accepts. Now, Eddie Hearn, what he said to Sky Sports, and I quote, "I've been in talks with Bernard, Bonetti, and the team. We're getting close now to identifying the real options in terms of venues and locations. Vegas has taken a little bit of a front runner in those. I know the British fans would love to do a trip out there for Joshua Klitschko. Nigeria is still in the mix, Dubai as well, and Cardiff. But like I said, Vegas has probably got its nose in front at the moment. I think in the next week, we're looking to present all those opportunities to Vladimir Klitschko and his team." Speaking to Bernard Bonetti this morning, "I feel like it's going to take that special event to make this fight. I would like to keep it in Britain. The fans have been incredible to Joshua, but if it means traveling to make sure this fight happens for world boxing, and it means taking a few plane loads to Las Vegas for a fight, for a night, an experience they won't forget. Anthony Joshua is a world heavyweight champion. He's not the British heavyweight champion. He wants to break boundaries, and so do we. To see Joshua's name up in lights in Las Vegas Strip is certainly something that appeals to us all. Yes, I would say the next couple of weeks we'll be looking to make a decision in terms of venue and location." So, good update from Eddie Hearn. Very realistic. I think Joshua, don't quote me on this because I don't know exactly his words verbatim, but I remember hearing that he said he doesn't have to come to America to fight, something to that effect. Like, it's not mandatory. And you go to his Instagram, he has like 3 million followers or something like that, so he's definitely a name. He doesn't technically have to fight. He already has a built-in fan base, and the British fans are great. But it does not, to me, make sense for him not to come to the States. You know what I mean? He seems like he has the mental temperament to be a road warrior, and obviously there's an American champion that I really want to see him fight, which is Deontay Wilder. So in case people aren't familiar with him, I've known about Joshua for a while, but I cover boxing also, so I'm a little bit more vested. Some boxing fans who are just kind of surface area, try to catch most of the fights, they may or may not at this point know about him. They should know about him after the Klitschko fight, but it doesn't hurt to get exposure in a newfound area. Amir Khan has been very successful with it, coming over from Britain to the United States and making a name. And so have a lot of other people. Canelo, biggest star in boxing, or one of them. Gennady Golovkin, Pacquiao. You know what I mean? These guys came from different areas outside of the U.S. and made a name for themselves. And even in the UFC, Conor McGregor. So again, America is where it's at. It doesn't hurt, because you're always going to have your British fans and built-in fans. So why not make some new ones? You know what I mean? Vegas is a tourist town. It's close to me, so I'm not going to hate on it. I would love to see a great heavyweight fight. You know what? I don't think I've covered any heavyweight fight live, and I definitely haven't covered one in Vegas. But that's definitely something I would like to do, because you got to look at it. For me, growing up, the heavyweight division was where it was at. And even before my time, like in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, it was really all about the heavyweight division. Even in the 90s, right? It was the heavyweight or bust. And no one was really caring about the guys in the 120-something pounds, or maybe even the 130s and 140 pounds. It was really mostly about the Tommy Morrisons, Mike Tyson, Razor Ruddock, Lennox Lewis, George Foreman, Larry Holmes, Frazier, right? It was about that. Muhammad Ali, of course, the greatest. Those were the people, the Ray Mercers. Those were the ones who were getting most of the spotlight. Ernie Shavers. So it'll be good to see boxing go back to its glory days, where the heavyweight division actually has some of the best fights, and it's trending towards that. So I think this is a step in the right direction. And maybe Joshua's team, namely his promoter, Eddie Hearn, maybe they got in his ear and said, hey, you know what, you need to step foot on different soil. It's a good experience, and you'll enjoy it. They did a press tour, I think, for the Klitschko fight in New York, but West Coast is totally different than New York. I live here. I live in the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? And I went to New York back-to-back months this year, in March and April. Totally different cultures, totally different weather. Everything's different. The women, you know what I mean? So I think to have a fight in Vegas makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. Vegas is big business. You got the gamblers, you got a lot of sports betting, you got tourists, you got a mixed crowd. It's not any one race. I just got back from Vegas too. I was just in Vegas at the Ward Kovalev fight just a few weeks ago. So I like this motion. The fight, the first one was exciting, so I'm not gonna, I understand business, so if Klitschko wants to get his rematch in, I personally don't have to see it, because I think Klitschko did as brilliant of a performance as possible. So I think that might have been it. You know what I mean? Now Joshua knows that he can weather a storm if things get. I have nothing against Dubai. I actually want to go to Dubai, but it doesn't make as much sense somewhere like Dubai. Like, you're not going to be able to have a bunch of U.S. media who's all going to be able to afford and make the trip down to Dubai and stay in a hotel for a week. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to get the proper coverage. Just like you look at the Pacquiao versus Hearn in Australia. There's a lot of people. I haven't seen a bunch of YouTube channels that are actually in Australia themselves covering the fight. You know what I mean? But Vegas, that's easy. You see the regulars who cover them. They can make those trips. But it's asking a little bit much to go to Nigeria or Dubai for a fight. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video. Like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.